What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at No Country for Old Men, starring Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones, and Harvey R. Bardem. No Country for Old Men tells the story of Llewellyn Moss, played by Josh Brolin. He stumbles across a load of money, particularly that of $2 million in drug money that belongs to the cartel. In taking this money, the cartel's now on his trail, and they've enlisted this man named Anton Chigrin to hunt him down and get the money back. That's the overall bare bones plot of No Country for Old Men. Let's talk about it. I remember watching this movie I remember No Country for Old Men being a real big deal when this movie first came out back in 2007. And I was very interested in wanting to see this movie. And when I eventually did, I was not disappointed. I thought this was a really good movie when I first saw it. Now that I've seen it 3 times in my lifetime, I can honestly say that No Country for Old Men is a fantastic movie. This is how you do a Western movie set in a contemporary time frame. The Coen Brothers, with No Country for Old Men, they pretty much reinvented the Western genre with this film. This movie has everything. It's dark. It's gritty. It's pretty much, to me, this is their Unforgiven. This is their version of Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. The characters in this movie are very, very interesting. There are a few of them who I think are a little bit underutilized, and there's one character who I think has who has a very disappointing payoff after we spent the majority of the movie with him. I didn't like the way he was paid off at the end, but other than that, other than those couple of gripes, this is a fantastic movie. The Coen Brothers, from a writing standpoint, the Coen Brothers know how to write these dark, gritty, like hard-edged dramas like No Country for Old Men and True Grit. This movie is bleak. This movie is just raw. It's powerful. It's backed by an incredible cast. Josh Brolin as Llewellyn Moss, he's our lead protagonist. I thought he was really, really good in the role. And I like how this movie has very minimal dialogue, and it works. Like, it really, really works. The Coen Brothers built this movie more or less around atmosphere and tension and suspense, and it's mostly done with camera work, with the cinematography, which looks absolutely gorgeous by Roger Deakins, and just fluid directing by the Coen Brothers, who know how to put this story to screen, and they know how to tell this story. And Josh Brolin, like I said, does a fantastic job. Tommy Lee Jones, who plays a cop who's getting close to retirement, he does a good job as well. Harvey R. Bardem as Anton Chigrin. This was pretty much his standout role, his breakthrough role, and he steals the show in every scene that he's in. He gives Anton an incredible amount of menace. It's almost like watching a human Terminator, if you will. Steals the show. Bardem steals the show. And of course, his best scene is the call it scene when he's talking to the guy in the grocery store. Fantastic scene, so rich with tension and really good dialogue. No complaints, no complaints, no complaints. This movie has a really good supporting cast that includes Woody Harrelson, who plays a man who's hunting down Chagrin, and where I think some characters don't get enough screen time. I think Woody Harrelson's character doesn't get enough screen time. I think it would have been a little more interesting if his character worked a little bit more with the Llewellyn character, as both of them want to stop Chagrin from his rampage. And not only that, another character who I think, again, going back to what I said earlier, the Llewellyn Moss character is the one who had a very lackluster payoff, because so Llewellyn and Chagrin, they have a very intense chase scene in the middle of the movie, which is a great scene, which leads to a little gun battle between the two in the middle of the dark, which is a great scene, very beautifully tense, beautifully paced. This movie has no music, and it doesn't need music because all the tension and the atmosphere does the work for you. But I digress. So basically, this movie's been building up the rivalry between Chagrin and Llewellyn Moss, with Chagrin on the hunt for Moss and Moss on the run from Chagrin, which eventually leads to Moss getting to a hotel to take cover. And now, after giving his whereabouts to his wife, who had been worried about him, we see in the next scene the cartel, they pretty much find him and kill him, and we don't really see Llewellyn die. We just see the aftermath, which is his dead corpse. I was not a fan of that. I would have liked to have seen a confrontation between Anton and Moss, with Anton getting the kill, if we were going to go that route, killing off Llewellyn after the movie spent so much time with him, it feels very, to me, it just feels very just, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? Underwhelming. It feels very underwhelming that we spend so much time with this character, and then he just unceremoniously dies. I mean, but I do like the ending though. That Chagrin never gets captured, which is a really interesting because the villain ends up winning in the end, which is kind of like real life, because in real life the good guys don't always win. And yeah, I can't really think of any way to end the movie with the exception of just Anton, walking away after getting into an automobile accident. So ends the best way it could, I guess. So yeah, the cast in this movie, fantastic. The story of this movie is intriguing and interesting. It's very easy to follow. It's very simple. This movie is not really built on a story. It's built on the characters. It's built on the atmosphere, the tension, its themes. This movie is, like I said, this is a Western set in contemporary 1980. That's backed by outstanding cinematography by Roger Deakins. This is a beautiful looking movie. Roger Deakins captures that bleak Western atmosphere, and he applies that to a more contemporary setting, and it works. It works. Deakins and the Coens made it work, and I can't praise the movie enough. The cast, every one in this movie fits their roles like an absolute glove. Even though Woody Harrelson is not in the movie as much, he still fits the role like a glove. The action sequences are all well done, very tense written, very suspense written. You're on the edge of your seat. So yeah, with all that said, those are my thoughts on No Country for Old Men. This movie to me gets a 9 out of 10. I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, if you have not seen No Country for Old Men in a long time, give it a watch, because 13 years later, this is still a damn good movie. And I'm honestly going to say this is probably my favorite movie of the Coen Brothers. I've not seen a lot of their works, but from the ones that I have seen, this is probably going to be number one. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.